less gas and stuff like that.
The guys that
Where we live
sells
in-
golf carts up there loves it.
Oh, yeah.
Where we lived in Arizona, because it's so much newer over there, I was not rich by any means, but everybody drove side by sides.
Mhm.
Like if you went to the gas stations by the store, they had a whole section that was in all the way in the back, but it was all for side by sides. Spots were shorter and wider.
Well, even, Oglala, Oshkosh, the ones I deal with, a lot of them have a ton of side by sides. If you live in town, I mean,
Definitely cheaper on gas.
Crazy deal, new side by side, you can spend 40,000 if you want to on a new side by side.
You know, that's my dad. We got that 4-wheeler. It's been in my front yard for 2 years. He says, "Well, we're gonna trade that in for a side by side." It's like one of the enclosed ones. It's like, look how much those cost. I could buy a cheap new pickup for that. Yeah, I know.
We have a fully enclosed one that we have at the farm, and it's super nice to work out of, or put the kids in, the spray and everything. It's got an air conditioner, but yeah, it's a pickup.
Yeah.
25,000.
Yeah, it's a Kubota with a diesel engine, so it's great for putting around, spraying thistle and stuff in the pasture. Got a good roll cage, but it's a lot of dollars. That was last year, they were putting the diesels in them, so Dad wanted one more diesel for the farm.
I will say they are super handy for building fence and stuff.
Yes, they're a good tool. None of ours are speed racers, they're 25-mile-an-hour tops, that's the fastest they go.
Some of them at 25, that scared the shit out of me.
Yep,
Well, again, the legislature hasn't got their life together on that one either. They need to have some regulations.
Julian thinks those guys speeding up and down the ones on those little grown bikes. He's like, "Those are cool." I was like, "Yeah, 2 more years, you're gonna be way too big to ride out." And those are good adults right now. But, well, you see how neat, like over the handlebars? He should have ride that. His little dirt bike's bigger than that. He just got a 125, and it's the same size as those.
A few years back, I don't know whether it's still the same anymore or not, but I was told by State Patrol of 27 cop, speed limit. If your vehicle could exceed 27 mile an hour, it's supposed to be licensed. I don't know whether that's.
The
still
problem
there.
is, they will not license e-bikes, scooters. It's a
Oh,
problem.
it's a huge problem. I agree.
and the patrolmen and deputies, their hands are tied.
No,
Yeah,
they can write all the tickets they want to write, but
it has no teeth to it.
that's no key.
Not that one little, what about Tucker? It's a KX65 circuit racing dirt bike. That'll run 60 miles an hour. It's crazy.
And you keep talking about it.
I had a lapse in judgment. When I brought it home, Kristen was at home, and him and I loaded it, and I crawled on it, and I'm not small. It's a little 65cc bike, it's got a lot of suspension to it, and I can hit second gear, pull it up on the back tire, and go through the gears down the street. It's crazy. He had one bad pile up on that, and he respects it a little more now.
Julian last
You
summer
take one.
wrecked his, and he didn't have everything on. He had his helmet, and he had his boots on, but he didn't have anything else on. And after about 2 weeks, I'm boo-hooing. He's like, "I know why, you and Enrique and everybody told me I need to wear everything." I said, "Yeah." But he's never had anything like that. He was riding around at 34 miles an hour.
Yeah, they'll rip.
Plus, they love it out there. Like, they go on the desert, they can just fly around with the issues. He's mad we can't bring it here. And I'm like, well, a lot of places now you can't. Because when I lived here when I was young, they still had that one out there. We drove out there to go to the baseball game. I hadn't been out that far.
It looks like a golf course.
Yeah, a huge house there. Wow.
And we have 5 of the dirt bikes, all different sizes that they love. Kids, we take them to the pasture and let them ride around the pasture, but you can't ride them anywhere unless Sutherland, Nebraska, out by Sydney, has a race course.
Oh, really?
Yep, you can take them out there and you pay a day fee and you can ride out there. I think Lexington has one as well.
Thought about it because he had Mom upgraded to
Felicia.
125, cause he had a 50.
Mhm.
He was just too big for the 50. But now, shoot, he grows another couple inches, he's gonna be too big for that. It's still small.
Small.
125 is small, yeah.
I worked these the way they used to do. There was a pony in my sister's neighborhood, not over 8 pounds. And everybody sold it for $125 to the next neighbor, and that horse went around all the neighbors until the kids got too big to it, and then sell it to somebody else. And it was 20-some years old, just a nice and bright pony. They'll do that with these little kids, just sell them around until everybody outgrows them.
Ponies aren't cheap anymore either.
They're not. Buy some cats.
Now's not a good time to buy cats.
They were selling cheap heifers today. Mom said they were selling heifers in a wall for like $300. They're flying through them. She told us, she called Dad and told him, to buy one of these, we're gonna figure out where to keep it so we can raise it.
Except if I own that, I would be glad to buy some.
You're all ready for it? It is 6 p.m., June 24th, 2026, Village of Sutherland, Lincoln County, Sutherland, Nebraska, Board of Trustees, regular meeting. Roll call, please.
Scott Meyer.
Here.
Patrick absent. Felicia Patrick.
Here.
Eric Dempsey.
Here.
Justin Mills.
Here.
Quorum is established.
Yes, I pledge allegiance to the flag.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Notification of open meeting law posters on the west wall. Proper procedure for guests. Raise your hand. We'll call upon you and go from there. To open up with, the board will hear comments at this time. All comments need to be directed to the chair. There is a 5-minute time limit. There will be no discussion by the board on comments by the public that are not on the agenda. Is there any public comment on that at this time? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on. We have an agenda presented in front of us. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll make a motion.
Motion Patrick. Second Dempsey.
Scott Meyer.
Yes.
Eric Dempsey.
Yes.
Felicia Patrick.
Yes.
Justin Mills.
Yes.
Patrick absent. Motion carries.
All right, next item is to read and approve the minutes from the June 10th, 2026 regular meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from the June 10th meeting.
Motion Dempsey.
Second.
Second Nelms.
Felicia Patrick.
Yes.
Justin Mills.
Yes.
Eric Dempsey.
Yes.
Patrick absent. Scott Meyer.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Sheriff's report is provided. It appears we had 66 calls for service, 6 total traffic, 2 village code violations. One was a barking dog, one was a loose animal. 103.75 hours. Last month to date was 848 and a half. Year to date is 952 and a quarter on a 1,200 hour yearly contract. Is there any questions or comments on the sheriff's report? Riley.
Anybody notice any, positive on the, speed limit signs? As far as, are we seeing any noticeable?
I heard from a couple people that said, are you guys writing tickets off of that?
Oh, good.
Because it was flashing at them, so I think it caught some attention.
Got their attention. Good.
That's the only thing I heard. Anybody else hear anything? Okay. Anything else with the sheriff's report? All right, we'll move on. Unfinished business, property on Walnut Street. We'll discuss in executive. Sewer lagoon.
Nothing really there, the main part of it's complete, this fall we'll be doing the electrical part of it. And that's about it.
Okay. On the sewer lagoon, Bonnie, have we heard from the bonding agency? Do we need to start having discussion to get that figured out cause we're close probably to within a couple months of being fully finished.
And I did get an email from them, I sent it on to Tom, because they had questions on when it was, they asked me to be completed, approximately how complete it was, so they could start the process. Have not heard back yet, so I'm waiting on Tom and the bonding company.
Okay, very good. Anything else on the sewer? Park and pool picnic tables, Casey,
Nothing on it.
nothing to report? Do you wanna leave that on, or do you wanna remove it? What would you like to do?
We can leave it on for now.
Okay. Discussion and action on ordinances to be updated in the crime commission system, including waiverable fines. Is there
Do
any?
you wanna start or I can start? You
You
don't.
can have the floor.
Okay, so in front of you, it wasn't part of the packet, but I did have this, is a couple, approaches. One of them, the 70.24 is, their plat. Kind of how they deal with waiverable, tickets that they have. They are relying on fairly low, but it paid within 5 days, $5 on a traffic citation, $10 after 5 days. They have some that they've identified as $100 fines, excuse me, and some as $35 fines. They are leaning into a traffic bureau violation that can be created via ordinance. Basically, it's just a way to set waiverable fines. We would need to discuss on how you would want to approach that, which ones we would want to tie to that. The second one is the city of Oshkosh. They've done it a little bit differently. They make generally their offenses across the board as $100, second offense or $50 first offense, $100 second offense plus cost. And after that, they make people go to court. I would not have. Yeah, all payments would go to the county clerk. I thought they had to go into the village office, and I wouldn't recommend that because ultimately you got to send it to the county anyway. So, anyway, just a couple of approaches. Perhaps need a full board to discuss. It's up to you as the chair, but I did want to provide some additional information to try to help move stuff forward.
What does everybody think?
What is the designation of a waiverable fine? What does that mean exactly?
That's fair. So a waiverable fine is like an infraction at the state level speeding ticket, meaning you do not have to go to court.
Okay.
You could just pay your fine and be done with it. That's what waiverable is. And I did bring it just so people have an idea. This is the state one. This is put out by the Supreme Court for all sorts of waiverable stuff, multi-pages, but basically any sort of infraction ticket you get, you just pay a fine and court cost and move on down the road. That's kind of what we're talking about on your more frequent ones, dog at large. You know, historically that's been a $50 fine. Well, instead of paying me, whatever that would be, to go to court, they can just pay a fine and move on down the road and get it resolved. I know we've been looking at the ones you're interested in prosecuting. We could tie those to a fine amount.
So on those type of fines, any fine that is paid, the village sees none of that. That goes to the county, correct?
That is correct. And via Nebraska Constitution, fines go to schools.
Okay.
We save money in the fact that you're not prosecuting. That's how the village saves.
Yeah, if it's a waiverable
Yeah.
fine, that,
Yeah.
yeah, you would save money by, they would just go in and pay it.
Right.
And I wouldn't, yeah, you're not paying me to go to court.
Love that idea.
That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone else comments, thoughts on it? Jim?
Who's gonna, say that somebody has, a violation? Who's gonna be doing that?
Would that be the sheriff's?
Is it the police officer?
Law enforcement, yeah.
Our sheriff's office, at this point, the county sheriff's office provides sheriff work for us or police work for us.
So that would be, well, it says boats and trailers. Now you'd have to contact the sheriff's office to handle that, right?
Correct, that's what's happening now, so that's part of the contract with the sheriff's office, is to enforce village ordinances.
Okay.
Right now, I think, and I don't want to speak for the sheriff's department, I think they're writing a lot of warnings on stuff like this, versus actually citing people.
And a lot of the warnings, is that tied to, everything right now is currently tied up at the clerk magistrate level to get all of our ordinances in, is that correct?
That would be more of a Bonnie question, but I think,
Clerk magistrate has let me know several times that she has everything that I sent on that list, she, all 22 of them that we originally sent in. Only 7 of them have the new number. But some of them were duplicated on there with the old number. So I'm not sure, and I'm trying to convince her to look into it to see if she entered them but used the wrong number. So it actually did put them in again, just didn't put the new number on. I'm not sure what next steps to take. I've asked her, I have asked Kramer, I have asked Newton. They insist they're all in there. There's only 7 of them that get prosecuted at this point, because that's all that's in there with the new numbers.
And there's 15 without the proper numbers.
Yeah. And that was the list that we went through 2 years ago, that were the ones that were most frequently violated in town. So, parking your campers on the street, we're not supposed to, dog stuff, things that weren't really a state statute, that were more village centric. And I just can't seem to convince them they need to maybe take another look at it. I'm not sure what to do at this point.
Milo.
Would it be useful to call or go to the county commissioner's office and see whether we can get some movement on that?
it's not the commissioners. The commissioners don't have any authority over the county clerk. It's a different, it's the county court clerk, it's not the county clerk, if that makes any sense. So Annette Schaefer is the one who is putting the stuff in there. The only person is ultimately the judges, if they push that, which
Sure, there's somebody that's in charge besides the person that's
Right.
putting this in.
it's ultimately the courts. It's not at the county level. This
So how do
is.
we push on that?
What my thought would be, if you guys do adopt some sort of waiverable, I'm gonna have to run this through the judges anyhow. I then could rattle a few cages as we go through, because I'm gonna have to make some phone calls and say, hey, are you guys good with this, and some emails that way. Because the courts have to bless this. I mean, if you say it's a $10,000 fine to have a dog alert, that's never gonna fly. But that's about it, unless the judges kind of push her, there's not a lot we can do, because she is the clerk magistrate for the county court.
But we almost need to do that because we're kind of sitting,
We're stalemated.
yeah, we have a lot of stuff that can't be,
Right.
people are gonna laugh us out of.
Threaten me with warnings to.
Right, big deal.
And maybe that's a conversation to have with the sheriff's department, if they could be here at the next meeting
Right.
on approach. They work with their local guys. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
And if they have an idea on, hey, this will fast track this, I think we really need to do it, because we've been messing around for quite a while.
Yeah.
I know Kramer and Newton both, and Newton has suggested getting a group together. He would be a volunteer to be here to go over that, and then he could take it and see if we can get things pushed through. It's just a matter of getting a response from either one of them on whether or not he wants to do that or we want to do that.
Or if we do it all in one shot.
Yeah.
What's everybody think of the first layout of the 70.24 for the, what do you call those, Rory?
Well, and these are parking violations, so
Yeah, but
it'd
it's
be,
just-
it'd be a combination of the two, honestly, because one of them is for parking bureau violations.
Considered
essentially.
waiverable fines.
Right, and so the top one, or the village, or the city, the North Platte one's for any parking fines, and the second one would be a catch-all for dog enlarges, and those sort of non-parking offenses.
So if we opted to, the 22 ordinances that we would like to have enforced, that we've sent to the clerk magistrate, if we offered those to become all waiverable fines, then you would have to draft stuff, then we could start working on this again, is that correct?
Correct, so we would have two separate, ordinances. One of them to create, and it's weird, the statute talks about a parking bureau. It's just a way to do waiverable fines, guys, in chapter 18. So we would do something similar to what's in front of you, once we identified those parking violations and a fine amount. And the other one would be a catch-all on other violations, or if you want to do a 50 first offense, 100, if you want to kind of follow that.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I do too.
So I guess at this time, the board would be comfortable giving Mr. Roundtree and the office direction to work on that, on the favorable, or, excuse me, waivable fines, there we go, appreciate that. Everybody, would it be best to have a vote on that, Rory, or direction, good with?
I think we're good at this point, because we're not actually doing anything today.
Just directing to go forward.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
we're good there?
That's great.
Excellent. Review ordinance 92.02, large animal 4-H act.
The first one is ours, I think, number 2, there are only mention of 4-H animals at all. I found a few others, and the way some other cities run things, so I have Central City, Arapahoe, I wanna say Bennett, and Long Time, I believe, are the ones that I got information from other clerks on how they, and Superior, on how they do it, a lot of them are a lot more restrictive. So for example, in Central City, they have to provide proof that they are in 4-H or FFA with name, and theirs is only for roosters, they don't have large animals, but you can have a rooster with this. So name, address, owner, proof that they are in the FFA or 4-H. Long Times, I think, is actually the most restrictive. They have quite a few. And it's, I think right after Central City is Long Time.
Which is page, what page is that on? So,
There's our 3 animals generally at the top.
there it is.
It'll be 2 pages after the sheriff's report.
Central City's 11. 10.
Up at the very top left, by the ring, it says since our city of Long Pine misdemeanors. In Article 3 animals generally.
And theirs was the most restricted, had the most restrictions in there that I found. They have described property, type of animal, and method of waste disposal. Proximity of a neighbor's dwelling, housing facility for the animals, a plat showing the values of the property. You also have to sign consent of all property owners within 300 feet of the proposed animal location before they get sheets. Jan said that they do that for, if you're doing 4-H or fair animals, you still have to follow these requirements. Because I think theirs was the most restrictive.
One more towards there. There we go.
That's okay.
So they have a lot of restrictions on theirs.
And then there's a couple options that just flat out say you cannot have it at all, that I put in there. Send out an email, whichever ones I got, answers back on the ones I put in there.
So we don't have a minimum, acre requirement
Be a minimum of 1 acre.
for ours.
For large
For
animals.
large animals, not for 4-H. 4-H, the only requirement is you have to be, I guess, you have to have a permit. Ours simply states that, resident may be allowed 4-H animals in the normal preparation for a 4-H project or fair project. There are no other restrictions or qualifications or anything set, so.
sure a lot of it, if we put a minimum size
Lot.
lot, like acres.
So basically that would fall within the same guidelines as a large animal. A 4-H animal and large animal permit would have to follow the same size regulations for area.
So that would get that out of people's backyard.
And I do think,
No,
I,
I'm sorry.
no, I do think like, just my personal opinion, having proof of 4-H, proof of the correct age group, you know, things like that are necessary too. You know, if we're gonna change and make it like, you know, that you have to show that your child's participating in this and stuff, like you just can't get a permit because you say. I mean, if we're gonna change it, then, you know, make sure that we're hitting all the,
Cause if, and I guess to touch on that, if we made it so it was the same requirements as a large animal permit, there wouldn't be a need for a 4-H animal permit anymore because they could keep it year round. And their permit would be active as long as if they applied for 3 cattle, they had enough acreage to have 3 cows. As long as there's 1 cow on the property, it's still an active permit.
That's my understanding of what it's been explained to me in the past, if you're right. Is that as long as you don't remove the animals completely, your permit is still active.
And that would resolve the 4-H gap issue. So say you have a breeding animal, which is fairly normal. You're not selling it. You go from 1 year into the next. So it would be more of a year-round project versus, I know we had discussed in the past, an end date. Well, that doesn't work on breeding animals.
Is it specific on how you say that the large animal permit says an acre? Is that an acre like if somebody bought Pearl Caspari's yard, that's over an acre. They could have cattle there if they had a permit.
Does it have to be
Or is it
zoned
has to be-
suburban residential?
Yeah, that's. I looked at it, but I don't remember, that's what I'm asking.
There's nothing in there requiring zoning.
There isn't?
Or like the guy that was across from me, where Gene Lindstrom used to live, I know that property's an acre, it's not, but it is. Before she sold the part of it, but I'm just saying as far as,
The zoning had a lot of these regulations. This is just part of it.
I know people that have huge backyards in town.
My understanding, and from what I know, when I'm talking to a couple people in town who do have them, is that the only reason they were allowed to get the large animal permit is because they were suburban residential on the outskirts of town.
For some reason, I thought at one point in time you had, for a large animal permit, it had to be in zone suburban residential. At one time, a long time ago.
And 3 acres on some of them. I know zoning, we had a bunch
There
of
was some
regulations
questions
on
on
this stuff.
Myla?
Suburban
One thing
residential.
you need to consider between the 4-H and the general permit is the 4-Hers may be doing a feeder animal and not have it year round. And so that needs to be opened up if they're not gonna have breeding animals as their project.
And I know a long time, talking with Jane, because like I said, hers was the most restrictive, and we had a heck of a conversation with all our folks about it. If they are not keeping it, then it's a no fee permit. If they are keeping the animal, then it is they say they pay the same fee as they would for a large animal permit. But if they guarantee it will be gone by the such and such date because it's just for fair and then it's being sold,
Right.
then they let them have the permit for no fee. So that's always an option. If somebody was saying, you know, it will be gone by this time, and Jan said if it isn't gone by that time, they go out and say, well, you have to give us your fee or we're voiding your permit completely, and then you lose the chance of ever getting one again.
So that constitute like the people that live where Ruffs lived on South Street, how they added the corral and
but
stuff.
that's like more acreage, isn't it? I think theirs is like 3 or 4 acres.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
so-
bigger, and I know they.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying with this-
Did have a large animal permit
Yeah.
at one point for his horse.
Yeah, but I'm just saying like that's different than like Yoakum's have 2 acres behind their house. Or acre and a half behind the house on Pine Street.
Well, and that's why I said I believe in, and Scott was right, that it does have to be suburban residential, it's not in the ordinance, it'd be in the planning and zoning I believe, and I couldn't find earlier codes that she looked, but
I only ask, cause I'm not saying you might, but like if somebody bought your house and wanted to put horses in the backyard,
Right, you could,
I mean,
Yeah.
justifiably.
As long as you're, yeah, if you've met the qualifications.
Yeah,
right,
I don't, not saying that Felicia's gonna go buy a bunch of horses, but,
my horses are out of town, north,
They're happy.
yeah, yeah.
but I just was curious. But I didn't know that that would be Marcus.
Yeah, a long time ago, I remember discussion on that, cause there was a bottle calf in Cherry Hills. And it came before a board and they looked at it and it was suburban residential, so it was allowed.
So how much of Sutherland is suburban residential?
I
Do you
don't
know?
know percentage wise, it's kind of hit and miss. Certain areas, like believe most of Cherry Hills is suburban residential. The stuff along South Street, on the south side of South Street would fall into that as well.
actually only a portion of that.
Portion of,
Because I know the
Yeah,
one,
the rest of it's also industrial.
but on the south side of the street.
I know the one lady on South
Oh,
Street
yeah.
has,
So I was
Horses.
pulling up way back,
Right in
these
North County Road.
no, it's like.
permitted use and SR.
You know what that, who that
Oh,
lady is?
yeah.
Residential.
Park
She's got
horses.
carriage horses.
So Rory found
her
her.
for years, but she never moved in.
Did I just not print off enough?
Rory did find that, you said, and where's that at?
So it was ordinance 604, it's been, well, it still would be, so we amended the planning and zoning regulations several years ago. So permitted uses in district SR, no building structure, etc. Shall be allowed unless under general farming operations, minimum premises area for which any large animal is kept shall be up to 3 large animals per acre, not to exceed 9, gotta have a permit, sanitary conditions, etc. So that is all in, suburban residential, and I think the zoning changes, if I recall, were the reason that we then created the permits to kind of put some rules.
So basically, if you made your 4-H permit and your large animal permit the same, they would only be allowed in suburban residential. And they would only be allowed, you'd have to have a minimum lot size and a maximum number of animals, correct?
Correct, I think that is the only area that we did that on large animal. We modified some of the requirements of care of animals at the same time. But yeah, permitted uses, we're just looking at if there's any other area that has permitted uses when it comes to farming operations, and I can't answer that. I don't know if you have any zoned ag in town or not.
So so if you have, like we had the goats,
Okay.
if they were in Cherry Hills, suburban residential,
Okay.
they got their permit,
Mm-hmm.
but they realistically, they said they were gonna use them for H, now they have the option to keep them year round, though.
Yep, and I
You
think,
know what I mean? So like we're missing the point of saying, hey, you can't have goats in town, or hey, they have to leave by, you know what I mean? So if we do it that way, then really we're kind of cutting off our nose to spite our face and allowing it to be a year-round goat farm, basically.
And ultimately, I mean, that's what you guys gotta vote on. I mean, whether or not it
But
meets
that's-
all the requirements, right?
So if we got, but that's what I mean, if we got away with saying 4-H is limited to up to September 1st when state fair is done.
Right.
You know, and just made it a blanket, if you have the correct amount of acres and are zoned suburban residential, you can have. If we don't put in there also that there is, you know, you're limited with 4-H, you have to get rid of them at that September marker, you could run into a whole slew of everybody having a lot of everything.
One side of Sutherland not having them, and other people can't.
Well, and just keeping them year round, like, do you want goats year round, do you want pigs year round, do you want, you know what I mean, like, is that where we want the town to go?
I fully understand where you're at with that.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I don't know if I was explaining it right,
you
or if I'm
did.
just,
Jim, you have a question?
No, I was just kind of, please, considering the neighborhood too. Like, you, whoever lives around there should have the
absolutely.
Should have a standard, should be a setback from your neighbor. So you can have anything closer than 100 feet.
Yeah, but if you have goats, I can hear the goats from the place we did, I can hear them at my house.
So there is a
So-
limitation on the SRs, shall not include or permit any activity within 300 feet of any R residential district. So there is some limits in there. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things you could do, we're just gonna need to.
So if your house was zoned suburban residential and Derek lives beside you and he's residential, you couldn't have goats under a large animal permit within 300 foot of his residential property. So if your lot was big enough, 320 foot, you could have them 20 foot on your property, 300 foot away from him.
Right.
But if the other side's residential, it'd be the same, so.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, so it kind of is a, where we don't know who's zoned where and stuff, we kind of run into,
The other option, I guess, one way maybe to look at it is 4-H animals could be allowed in suburban residential districts. Most of your suburban residential are bigger lot sizes normally. Not all.
Cherry Hills isn't.
Cherry Hills aren't huge lots
Yeah,
either.
and you just said they were suburban residential.
Yep, and that's how they're zoned.
Right, so, I mean.
Yeah, I
you
don't know
make
what the
that
right way to do it is.
That was one thing I found out you got online is they require all property owners within 300 feet to agree to let the neighbor have those 4-H animals.
Until that certain amount of time.
Well, they just treat it as a large animal, but if they're not keeping it, then they just no fee for it, but you still have to have all neighbors within 300 feet of the boundaries of your property have to agree that yes, they're fine with you having your 4-H animal.
Like in writing agree,
Yeah, sign consent to all the property owners on the application.
You would have the final say anyways.
right,
I think the board can pass any of the permits or deny any.
right, right.
What do we wanna do on it? Think and make sure we have all our ducks in a row. What's
Maybe we can, like, everybody can come up with a plan, like, maybe they could look at some of these and tweak to maybe come together and throw some ideas, since we just got all of these other ones, and see if there's a way we can combine. Would that be okay?
I'm good with that. The rest of the board comfortable looking into this. We'll do it one time, do it right.
Yeah,
Okay. Chris. Tyler.
I would encourage you to start with the stiffest one of long pine in your consideration. And be as controlling as you can starting out if you're gonna do this.
I would,
You can always change,
yes,
but it's tough to change.
Okay.
To more restrictive, it's a lot easier to change, less.
Right. Fair statement. Very good. Well, at this point, we'll move on. We'll keep that on the agenda. Discussion and action on shipping container setbacks and classifications. Ordinance 689, marked for second reading.
Missed on the last agenda. Ordinance number 689, an ordinance of the Village of Sutherland, Lincoln County, Nebraska, to amend the regulations of shipping container of the planning and zoning regulations as recommended by the planning commission, to repeal all other ordinances and resolutions or parts thereof in conflict, to provide that the provisions of this ordinance shall be made a part of the code of the Village of Sutherland, and to provide when this ordinance shall be in full force and effect.
And that is the second reading of 3 on ordinance 689.
As a reminder, this is just the one that allows a non-contiguous lot to have a shipping container placed on it. We had the public hearing May 27th.
All right, so we would need to keep that on the agenda for the third and final reading on our next agenda, please. Everybody good there?
quick question, so Bonnie, at the one meeting, you had said that you can have a container as your storage unit on your property in the village of Sutherland.
Or is it allowed for that, yes.
So I thought Tori, when he had come here at the one meeting, had said that they had passed a thing saying that you could not have containers in Sutherland. He was pretty like adamant about that.
To me, I know that it was, at one point it was trying to get that passed to not allow them at all. Instead, they put fairly strict restrictions on it. You have to have footings or a concrete slab. It has to have tie downs. It cannot be thrusted or painted, or it has to
Has to have air vents, there's a lot of restrictions in the
cannot be an
plantings.
eyesore to your neighbors.
Yeah,
Answer it somewhat
yeah,
in a roundabout way?
yes.
Okay. Discussion and action on pool rental charges and a deposit.
We have recently had, a few people now ask about renting out the pool. We didn't have any sort of application for that. It had been discussed several times that it was like a $250 fee. Nothing was mentioned about a deposit. I got talking with Kristen. We feel a deposit would probably be a good idea, just to ensure that they're not leaving trash everywhere. The deposit can be returned easily. I just kind of modified a couple other cities' pool rental agreements, just as a starting point on this. We would like, Chris and I agreed that it would probably be a good idea to have something in writing, as far as did they, understand what the rules are, yes, they're willing to pay this, who it is, how to get a hold of them, how many people are gonna be there. We just didn't have anything for it, so.
What's the time frame? It says specified time frame. Like how many hours are they renting it for?
Well, at this point, the ones that we had asked wanted for 2 hours. 2 hours. 2 hours. 2 hours, and that will be 2 lifeguards, that we would pay. We worked out the math, it's like $100 for the wages. And then it's that other 150 would be all for, profit, I guess. If they, just discussing with Chris and talking, tossing out ideas, so if they don't make a big mess, they get their deposit back. If it's a birthday party and they have cake and ice cream all over the place, and they don't attempt to even get up their own trash, the deposit gets kept to basically pay for our lifeguards having to clean it.
I like the idea of the deposit. I think on this, you have to, I think it should state maybe like a specified time frame. This $250 covers 2 to 4 hours of pool rental. I think you have to maybe make it more specific to that.
Could you do
Yeah.
so much per hour?
Yeah, and then, yeah, exactly. Like,
$250 for 2 hours, each additional hour is an additional $125 or something like that.
Or
Grant did 200, was it 200, I believe, and then $100 for each additional.
I think Grant's was 200 for the first hour, wasn't it, the first hour?
2 hours.
For the first 2 hours, and then $100 every hour.
yeah, that I think,
Otherwise, you're running for $250 for all day. and
right,
100 people.
but that's what I mean. I think if you don't have it specified in writing right here.
This was just kind of we threw something together real quick.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Just to get suggestions and see what I need to cross off. and
Yeah,
change and-
I love the idea of them being able to do that.
Probably need to set a time, like in the evening, instead of somebody wanting to rent it on a Saturday.
Yeah, during the day.
Right, some exemption times, maybe.
Yes.
Do we, I'm sorry, Felicia, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's okay.
Is there interest right now coming up in the near future wanting to rent this?
There is a lady who would like to do it, let's see, before the 4th of July.
So if we were going to,
Kristen said she's had 2 other people call and ask.
so if we were going to adopt this, we would have to put in the things that we want to put in there, that so much per hour, so much additional hour, only allowable from 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock. We would want to put all that verbiage in here if we want to pass this or go forward with this tonight, is that correct? Or is there,
Basically, yes, because you are making some policy decisions on this. If you basically approve certain things, and then I can work with Bonnie to modify this agreement to reflect those. But you would have to make some policy decisions tonight.
Question,
What?
your rates aren't high enough, if you're talking $100 per hour for the first 2 hours, and $100 for each hour. That doesn't even come close to what your costs are.
I know we did the math on the wages, so if we had 2 lifeguards and the pool operator there. So if Kristen and 2 lifeguards were there, for that, and we figured 2.5 hours to allow them time to set up and lock everything up. So it would be like $113 and
But
some
you still
odd
have
cents.
gas and lights that we're paying for.
Yeah.
Electricity, natural gas.
But you also are, it's a service to the community. If you price yourself too high, then you're gonna be like the Legion. And nobody rents the Legion anymore, you know, no.
Well, and I know
you
another
know.
question she had was, 2 lifeguards would do for 25 kids. If they want to have more than 25 people there possibly swimming, we would need more lifeguards, so then is there an additional charge for more than 25 people is X amount more?
2 lifeguards and an operator is about $60 per hour. Yep. It'd be about $60 an hour for just our wage, what we're gonna pay in wages.
So if you did the fee, the $250 plus $100 for every hour, extra hour, excluding all holidays, because like our 4th of July is big, you know, Memorial Day's opening day, you know, certain holidays that you get all the kids there, right? That's important to leave it to the kids.
What are your current hours? When do you close currently?
8, right?
8.
So are you only gonna have it available after you close? Or are you gonna be closing early?
Be probably closed early after 5.
Which then you're gonna run into the people that have bought pool
People
passes.
they've got passes and
That's not very fair to them,
that's.
because a lot of kids like the night swim, you know, that.
But there is a lot of nights that there's nobody there at 5.
Yeah,
That's not the point.
Yeah.
Guessing is,
yeah, you've already made it available to them till 8 PM, and that's what their pool pass is paying for. Gosh, that's a tough.
We just,
I don't think it's a good idea to close it during normal business hours.
Business hours, I agree.
So if you offered it from 8 o'clock until 10? I mean, that's because the normal close time, if that puts it late, you may have lifeguards that have worked a full 8-hour shift, plus there's only 2 that can do it to stay an additional 2. I don't know.
You're
And
not gonna have a
what-
7-year-old's birthday at
8 o'clock at night either.
So,
I know there's a lot of pools that do it and close down. There's pools that won't do it to close down to their normal operational hours.
And I know Kristen had looked at limiting it to days that typically aren't as busy, so Friday, Saturdays, obviously not. Just a lot of times like your Monday, Tuesdays aren't as busy, especially in the evenings.
So if we do this, can we, I know that school starts August 12th. Can we somehow extend the pool hours to run into past Labor Day? Because a lot of people ask for that.
we don't have any lifeguards. We've tried this for years.
who is,
All the kids are doing sports, going to school, going to college.
Right.
Cause when I first started, our goal was right up to the holiday, then we closed. But now, last year it was first week in August, we didn't have any lifeguards when we shut down.
I would guess, just what I know of the lifeguards on staff, 2 of them, it probably wouldn't be an issue to stay on longer because of their day-to-day. But you could operate, you're gonna have low numbers anyways, you could possibly push it if you have 2 lifeguards willing to work it.
Right. Even if it were just on the weekends, you know, when kids are home, you know. I mean, I think looking at some of those options too, especially if we're gonna take away time that people have bought their pool pass and you said you were gonna be open. Like, you have to make the pool pass worth buying or lower the cost of the pool pass and say, these are the possibilities that we're gonna rent it out.
Just don't do parties and just, you don't have to worry about anything.
You could not do parties and not worry about anything. Yes,
You can do parties and invite all the current ticket holders to the party.
Lord, Mylan, you're.
Trent aside for
True.
Career Age 24 First Street. I'm actually where my grandma printed ad right now. And I had a birthday party for Bill and Bailey. We did the cake and ice cream and all that stuff on the grass in that side area. And then anybody that wanted to, there were things that they could do there, or just everybody go swim. They were responsible for their own pool pass. Okay, it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of kids there, and we shared that with other people. It wasn't an exclusive. We didn't decide that we had to have that for ourselves. That just seemed actually more the merrier seemed fun to us. But I'm just saying you can have a party for children and you not have to exclude it.
Right.
So,
But-
my 2 cents.
I agree, but I think a lot of people like to have that like exclusivity of having it, which
Yeah, cause then it's
It's your birthday.
personal, it's
it
private,
is,
it's you,
absolutely, yeah,
the kids is friends, and
yeah.
they're like, I got the whole pool. Birthday party.
But if they have a birthday party in Anchor Park, we don't shut Anchor Park down for other people's use,
Right,
or Railroad Park for that matter.
Alternatively, then could we offer some sort of rate for a daily pass if you're bringing it, fill this out, whatever, not close it down, but if you wanted to pay, like the bowling alley in North Platte does, if you have a birthday party from there, you could buy a package where you get so many people or so many lanes for a set price.
I think that's in there, more than, is it more than 5 on day passes? I think the pool rate changed from, instead of $5 a piece, it went to a set amount up to, or more than 7, I remember something on that. I don't remember our pool rates. So I guess
I
what
mean,
does,
yeah, or I guess you could say like something about how many people they're gonna bring, you could make it, how big is your party? You know, if you're having a party of 100 kids, you know, and we're gonna have to hire 7 or 8 lifeguards, it's gonna be worth our while then to do it. But if you're having a party of 10 kids and we only need 1 lifeguard, you know, our best bet is to keep the pool open for the public. You know, you could make it a minimum, you know, you have to have X amount, I mean, cause we have to make it worth our while, 2, you know that we're gonna have some people in here that are gonna be like, well, that's adult swim time. Like, let's be honest, you know, they're gonna complain about it. But they have every right, cause they bought their pool pass. So,
and we don't charge, like Trenda said, if I wanna have a kid's birthday party up there, we can have cake and ice cream outside. I think if they talked, we could make, the village possibly could have an extra picnic table up there if they needed it. We don't charge anything for them to have a party outside. They can pay their passes, go swim. Then everybody in town that, or around that's already bought their year passes can still enjoy the pool. Plus, these guys can have their party as well. It's not a private party, but it's still, you know, with that, you wouldn't even have to have an agreement.
if you wanted, you could, you know, if Kristen wanted, I mean, she could section off, you know, the picnic tables for that private party.
Reserve.
Like, almost like a room for them, yeah, reserved, yeah, you could do it that way and not even,
I've got some cattle panels sitting there.
there you go.
And-
Wrap some tooling around them and light a candle.
I guess those ideas to not shut it down to our people that have bought passes or want to utilize the facility. They could have a pool party, have their cake and ice cream outside, use the pool, play in the park. At no extra charge, there wouldn't have to be an agreement. It'd just be normal, anybody can, just like anyone can use it.
And I think like, I don't think this is a bad idea, but I think like summers, we're already into it. And I think if we wanna do this and revisit it and say next year that, you know, we're gonna allow Mondays for pool parties, then we're gonna adjust the pool pass price. Like, that's something that for next year, like, we could be proactive in working it next year, but to go into it, like, we're already we're gonna be done soon.
We thought about, now this is the first time that I've ever had anybody inquire about renting out the pool, so it kind of was we have no clue what to do.
Yeah.
But we're asking about it, so.
No, I think it's cool. Just be something else we could do.
So I guess for direction or to circle back on everything, we want to leave it the way it is. We're not gonna have a pool rental agreement for private parties at this time, but we can work on it for next year. People are welcome to use the facility, use our outdoor facilities as they would like to.
Reserve a table.
They can work through the clerk's office to reserve a table. We'll do everything we can to try to make that happen. Is that fair to everybody?
Yeah,
I think that's a great idea. Yeah.
Mr. Roundtree, are you comfortable with that?
Right, yeah, because, ultimately, you're not making any changes at this point, so.
We just talk in circles again.
What's that?
Just roundabout our way back.
Pretty much.
We made it around the tree. All right, so we'll move on to discussion and action regarding storm drainage. I believe Bonnie Kim put this on there and she's not able to be here tonight. But these were some pictures she put on. I don't know if it would be in our best interest as a village board to see if Tom Werblow would have time to come to our next meeting, maybe to go over some of this with us, or what everybody thinks.
that's what I was gonna suggest, like, ask if we could do that.
And like I say,
Okay, yeah, the state guy that you spoke with the other day on the ditch side of it.
meeting with Tom.
Would it be, do you think we should invite, is that just state or is it county?
State, that's state guy.
So we don't have to worry about county roads.
So question on that, because I know we've tried splitting that and figuring out where we're at. The Prairie Trace Road. We maintain a part of it, the county maintains a part of it. Is it split in half down the center line, or does it start at Highway 30 and end at the top of the hill? I guess is the east side of the ditch the villages, I'm assuming, and not the counties, is that? We've always cared for it as a village.
That's true, that's a good question.
My understanding, for what it's worth, because I did do an interlocal with the county a few years ago, was basically all that's in city limits, or village limits, is village. And then once you get outside, wherever that magical line is, that becomes county.
So this would truly be village, within the village.
And I could be wrong. That was my understanding, working with the county at that point, when we were looking at repaving it, if you recall that.
Does that mile count too, like the mile outside?
That's only for zone,
Okay,
so no, that.
okay.
So that truly would be a village ditch on the east side of Prairie Trace Road that the pictures are of, and then it would involve the state guy along the highway.
So was it just, does this fill up because that culvert that goes under Highway 30 is full?
No, that culvert on the highway, no, it takes so much water to push the head water down that ditch, so why it's built up pressure and push the water down the ditch, it's backing up into town.
Gotcha.
Milo?
Won't make any difference now, but, that's part of, Werbo's study on the walking path is to actually find out where the city limits is, whether it's down the center of the Prairie Trace, or if it's on the shoulder, or if it's on the right of way, so forth. And also what the north limits of this village is and what the south limits of the village is. So, I mean, this isn't a new problem. Everybody's wondered about where the city limits is for a long time, and I agree with Rory that it's been operated. I mean, its operations have basically been that that's our drainage, but we're not real sure it's our drainage.
And technically, there's supposed to be an official village map. I think Tom would be the one that would have maintained that based on older maps, but yeah, he's probably the one you want to talk to about this.
Well, he's under contract with, on the walking path thing to get that determination made, of course, for the whole village, to all sides.
So I guess is everybody comfortable seeing if we can invite Tom and the State Department of Roads personnel here for our next meeting. Good with that? All right, discussion action on multi-sport court striping. So, yeah, go for it, Casey.
Striping is the company's name. He come up, looked at it, he said he could stripe it for us. No problem. The pickleball court will do other different colors. And it would just be the three throw line and the 3-point line.
But we have to have this striped to get our repayment back from West Central. So I think on the initial contract that they had, was it almost $6,000 to
$5,734 is what AV Creative was going to charge us for the stripe, and that was just solid white striping for just the kitchen and the outlines for the pickleball, and then just the free throw and half court line or whatever for the basketball. But it was all blue lights.
But he thought it'd be around 3,500 to 4,000. He said the reason it's so expensive that he's found out, once you put your tape down for your lines, there's a special primer you gotta use that doesn't run, that doesn't get underneath the tape, so then they put that down first and they paint it. He says that when you pull the tape off, they're nice, crisp, clean lines.
What's the maintenance, like how long, do you know what he said, like, do you have to do it every year,
No,
is
I
it
think-
guaranteed?
I
For a
think that's
while.
quite a while now.
Another quick question, did you unlock the basketball hoops?
Yes, I did.
So can
But
I
with the
can quit your,
stipulation that if the kids are abusing again, they go back up to the standard height and they get locked back up. Cause if they break one of them backboards, you get backboard for about $2,500.
well, I guess if they break one, then they won't have one to play with, and we'll have to.
I guess they're online.
Yay, okay.
This question, is there any more interest or discussion or anything about putting an additional gate into that? From the west or northwest or whatever. I mean, basketball goes over the fence, you got kids running out right into the parking lot, around the fence, going that way.
I guess we've never, they put the fence up and had the one gate on it, cause that's what their contract showed. I mean,
We've talked about that since then,
But there's a sidewalk there, if they're, not the sidewalk to go around the corner, then,
yeah, but you open the gate, how much room you have,
yes,
if they go around
5 foot. The sidewalk's like 5 foot wide.
with a 3-foot gate.
Yeah, I don't see an issue with why
Okay,
we need another gate.
okay.
And we can look at it and revisit that if. Yeah. Why don't we do that? We'll put that on for, we'll have time, if everybody wants to go up and look at the gate that's there, then put it on the next agenda to discuss maybe adding an additional gate, see what everyone thinks. Cause I remember we talked about it one other time. All right, anything else? I guess while we're on multi-sport court striping, we don't have a for sure number, we don't have it in writing. Do we want to authorize up to a certain amount, or what would we like to do to get this done?
Yeah, I think that would be good.
And not to exceed.
Not to exceed our initial, Bonnie, what was the number that they had billed us for?
$5,734.
Okay, so I suppose anything underneath that would be better for us.
And you thought it wouldn't cost more than 5,000?
When I talked to him this morning, he was supposed to send us an estimate, but he thought between 35 and 4.
Yeah, so maybe not to exceed 5.
I think that would be fair. If you'd like to make that in a motion, we'll
I
go.
will make a motion.
Motion, Patrick, not to exceed $5,000.
What was the name of that business?
308 striping.
Out of what account? Sorry, guys.
Nope. We paid for everything on the park out of Keno, is that correct?
And the reimbursement will go back to Keno if, that was another question I had for you on how that works with the reimbursement, but we can discuss that.
Yeah,
You
that was
commented
separate.
at the last meeting that it's hard to pay for something and then reimburse Keno for it. that situation was, they wanted to take it out of general and reimburse Keno.
Right, 'cause they're restricted funds and as long
But
as
where
you
the
track.
grant was paid for out of Keno, it was a reimbursable match grant.
Right.
That can go back to Keno, no problem.
It should, yes, because well, one, it's an authorized project, sorry guys. It's an authorized project because it's a park project for Keno purposes. And it's more of a bookkeeping thing than anyway. Money went out, money coming back in, so.
Well, they have everything, if the reimbursement is ready, he cannot draw upon that reimbursement to give us a check until the final bit of the project is completed.
Which is a strike.
So,
The faster we
no,
get
up to
it done.
5,000.
So Patrick has a motion to authorize up to $5,000 for 308 striping to come out of Keno.
Second.
Second, Justin Nelms.
Justin Downs,
Yes.
Scott Meyer,
Yes.
Jim Backer. Sorry, Derek Dempsey,
Yes.
Alicia Patrick.
Yes. You'll lock it up, you'll lock it, well, it's,
Yeah, once he's paying them.
yeah,
Have you been?
I figured
since
you
we
would.
painted the roof?
yeah.
That looks nice.
He's a very, it's like Scott's shirt, but
Oh, really? Yeah, I haven't been up there since.
All right, so we have claims presented.
That was just the first bit, but it's not streaky now.
Love it against the green.
Any questions or comments on claims?
I do wanna clarify the thing for Kristen, she will pick up some pool supplies, and for all that the credit cards are set up on auto pay, it was declining the card, we don't know why, it was not giving me a reason why. Credit card companies were needed finding out what the hell was going on there, cause it should not have.
Cause none of our credit cards work.
Yeah, and they're set up on auto pay, payments came out on time, everything was paid the way it should be. Nowhere near the limits, they don't know what is going on.
And this isn't the first time this has happened.
Apparently it's also not just us, there's quite a few, smaller towns who are having issues with their cars that are going through.
And this is the J dogs.
Safety shirts for the, summer help,
Gotcha.
and we have that safety budget, so we'll put it on the budget time, so it just comes out of that.
Awesome.
Make our kids look nice before we left.
Any other comments on claims? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve as presented.
I will make a motion.
Motion Patrick. Second. Second, Derek Dempsey.
Scott Meyer,
Yes.
Derek Dempsey,
Yes.
Alicia Patrick.
Yes.
Justin Jones,
Yes.
Matters absent, motion carries.
Your payroll reports provided along with comp sick vacation. And we have some balance sheets as well.
I want to point out, very well, putting in the transfer from the general account to the store fund account, the money that they put in there. I didn't put it in right because it's showing it coming out, but never going in, Tiffany's going to fix that for me. We are not really in the hole in the operating account, that is. Absolutely, she doesn't know what I did, because it's showing it coming out almost twice, but not ever going in, so I think I just put two transfer outs instead of transfer in somewhere, but I can't find it.
You guys are working on it.
Yes,
There we go.
so I also included the printout from Adams Bank Trust as to what is in the accounts. And that in the general account was actually in there as of today.
Balance, profit and loss are there as well. I guess what we're doing this, was there any FYI information today? We'll go through reports. Casey?
We call you next week, either Monday or Wednesday, weather permitting. You said you haven't been up, look at the sport court, the base is painted, mill, the containers up there, hopefully, that project finished up. And, that's about it.
Well,
I think I probably draw my year meeting.
And if you guys haven't noticed, the new Sutherland signs are up.
Derek. No, man. Justin.
No.
Alicia. And I'd like to say thank you to all of our employees. The town looks amazing. All the kids working are doing a very good job. Not heard a bad thing or sideways thing on it. They're very helpful, so.
I think we need a few compliments in the office on how polite the summer help is. When they see them downtown, little streets or something, that they're very polite young men.
All right, so all that's taken care of. Was there any comment from the audience? Okay,
You stole mine.
all right. So I would like to enter into executive session for potential litigation. So I guess we would have to have a vote to enter into.
Is there a motion?
I would motion to enter into executive session for reasons of potential litigation. Second Dempsey.
Alicia Patrick,
Yes.
Justin Jones.
Yes.
Derek Dempsey.
Yes.
There's absent Scott Meyer.
Yes.
Motion carries.
So it is 7:05. We will enter into executive session. No, or for reasons of potential litigation, no action will be taken in executive session.
I've seen
I was
both.
talking to Marshall. He
Sure,
shoots a lot of rounds of blue rock.
Make sure you can have
Oh,
one.
yeah.
He said, yeah, normally, he said, I shoot 10 or 12,000 shells.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it'll be worse next year, cause he's going, the ATA season starts in September. And so he's going to drive